Nowadays, whenever we have a new movie, within maybe 24 hours, maybe even less, that movie's being called mid. Is the movie really mid, or are we starting to become the problem? I think this is something that we have to examine because, in my opinion, we have become overly critical of cinema nowadays. And it's something we gotta talk about. I feel like it's important to differentiate if the movies are actually getting worse or are we just getting harder to impress? And I feel like it's a more nuanced answer than you may think that I have. The state of movie criticisms have changed drastically over the last 10, 20 years, right? Because now people have access to instant reviews, right? They get to see people's thoughts instantly of a movie before it even comes out. You get to see that immediately, all right? And also we got TikTok and YouTube Shorts. People get to put their opinion anywhere, and people take people's opinion to heart, and they use that, whether they know it or not. It could be subconscious. They use that and that changes how they even go into the movie and how they even view it, right? Before they even see it themselves, they already have a preconceived notion of what it's gonna be based off what somebody else said because they saw it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. They saw a 30-second clip of somebody saying this movie's gonna be trash. And they said, man, I'm going into it thinking it's trash. Like I said, whether it's conscious or subconscious or not, right? And then we got stuff like Rotten Tomatoes. People treat that stuff as facts nowadays. People treat the critic reviews. They look at that before they go to a movie to see, am I gonna see this or not? Or rather than just being interested in a movie and going to see it. People look at Rotten Tomatoes, look at the reviews. Rotten Tomatoes said it was bad, so I'm gonna go see it, but I'm gonna probably think it's bad too. Come on, bro. You can't view movies like that. You can't really enjoy something going into it thinking that it's already gonna be trash. And if you're doing that, how can you call yourself a cinema enjoyer? Because we got people that call themselves cinema enjoyers that are actually doing this type of stuff. It's kind of disrespectful to real cinema enjoyers like me. I don't look at no reviews, no critiques, no TikTok, YouTube Shorts about it. I might not even watch the trailer. And I'm gonna just go into it because it sounds interesting. And I'm gonna just go form my own opinion about it. And if it's actually bad, I'm gonna say that, right? But if it's actually good, I'm gonna say that too. I'm not gonna be afraid to admit that something is good just because I see that other people say that it's bad. And I feel like we gotta get out of that sheep culture that I feel like we're in when it comes to reviewing movies. And also, we know that the algorithm award negativity more than it awards positivity. So if they see negativity going viral, they're gonna push that content out. They're more likely to push the negative reviews out more than they are likely to push the positive reviews because algorithm rewards negativity. It's bad, but it's true. Now, I'm gonna acknowledge that people are saying that Hollywood is running out of ideas, right? People are saying we got too many movies nowadays, right? People are saying a lot of things, and a lot of that is true. We are in the era where movies are being pumped out constantly, right? There's so many movies coming out, so many TV shows, things like that, all that's coming out, right? And we have so much access to it, right? Some stuff coming out on streaming services, some stuff coming out in theaters. And we're not gonna talk about how the movie theaters are slowly but surely kind of dying. We're not gonna talk about that in this video. That's a whole nother video. But come on, y'all. Some of the stuff that people are saying on that side, they feel like movies are just trash nowadays, right? It is true, and I have to admit that, even though I'm kind of on the side that we're still a little too critical of movies nowadays. But we do have to realize there are still highly, highly praised movies being released every year. There are good movies that come out pretty regularly that are highly praised by everybody, right? Sinners is one that I feel like I don't remember seeing anybody negative about it except some random trolls in the comments that have a Pokemon character as their profile picture. No hate on Pokemon, but it's just, you see patterns. Anyway, bro, I just see nobody hating on that. And that was a highly praised, and it was an original idea too, which I will get to that because I feel like with movies nowadays, there's a lot of remakes, a lot of sequels, live action turned from animation. And I feel like that is the part where people are getting annoyed because I feel like that makes people think that the quality is going down. Because a lot of times from the first to the second, or from animation to live action, the quality does go down, right? And it's just not as good as the first one, right? And they're trying to remake the magic that was in the first one. You can't do that all the time. And most of the time you can't, right? I feel like one rare example of a sequel being better than the original, I'm gonna give it animated and a live action. Animated version, Shrek 2. Shrek 2 was peak. Shrek 2 was absolutely peak. Spider-Man, that's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I feel like that was a little bit better than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, even though Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie because it's when I was introduced to Miles Morales on the big screen, right? And also, what's that movie called? Maverick. Top Gun Maverick, I feel like was better than the original Top Gun. It was so good. And the original Top Gun was peak. It was peak. And Top Gun Maverick was even more peak. So I feel like it's really rare when you have sequels come out that are better than the first ones. I feel like that's where people start to get annoyed and they start to go in with all these preconceived notions. Bro, we've seen this already in the animated version. We've seen this already in the first movie. This didn't even need a sequel. So I can see the sides of people saying, man, if we had more original ideas coming to the big screen, we'd be more likely to go and see a movie and not already think it's gonna be bad. Because there are so many bad examples of remakes and live actions and sequels that people already go into and think it's gonna be bad. So I feel like where production companies go wrong is that they keep pumping them out because they do make money because people are still gonna go see them. People still go see them even if they think it's gonna be bad. They're making money. They don't care if it's bad money or good money. They're making money. So they're gonna keep pumping those out, whether people are enjoying the movies or not. If they're making money, they're gonna keep coming out, right? So I feel like that's where movie companies need to make a shift, bro. Have more original ideas. Come out with more original stuff that we have never seen before, right? You can still make new ideas. I know we've seen a lot of stuff in the past, but there are still original ideas to be made. So I feel like that's where part of the problem is people just expect stuff to be bad because it's a remake. It's a live action remake. It's a sequel. It's a trilogy for something we didn't need a trilogy for. Bro, some stuff can just be left at one movie. I feel like Sinners should be left at one movie. That's not something that needs a sequel. That should be left at one standalone movie. It's something that we can just go back and enjoy because, man, this is something that can never be recreated because it's standalone. We don't need no Sinners 2. We don't need that. We don't need no animated version of Sinners. We don't need none of that. Keep it as what it is, right? But then back to the point I was making about people being a little too critical nowadays. I still feel like there are original movies coming out, but they're not blockbuster hits. The blockbuster hits a lot of times are video game remakes, animation to live action remakes, or sequels. That's a lot of what is coming out in blockbuster hits. But there are niche indie, if you want to call it that, movies that come out a lot that are original ideas. I feel like we need to appreciate more. And this is something I'm learning myself too. I'm going to see more niche indie movies. I'm watching more niche indie movies myself because I feel like we need to appreciate those people, even though they may be lower budget, but they're still original ideas and there's still a lot of good ones out there. There are bad ones too. I'm not gonna say all those type of movies are great, but there are good ones too. So we need to appreciate those and go actually out and see those as well. So people feel more inclined to make more original ideas. I feel like Sinners should start a revolution of original filmmaking now. Please, we need that. But for the consumers and the viewers and the cinema enjoyers, right? We need to be more willing to want to enjoy movies. We need that. And me, I'm really easy to please when it comes to movies that may be a bad thing, but I don't go in trying to decipher what's wrong with a movie. If I notice something wrong, I'm gonna notice it. But I'm not going in there to find that. I feel like that's where we go wrong, is where we trying to look for something wrong in movies, in media in general, right? But that's just my opinion. I'm just a guy on YouTube. I'm just a guy talking to a camera, right? But that's my rant for today, y'all. Just try to enjoy stuff. Don't try to look for the bad and stuff all the time. But that's my rant for today, y'all. Smiley out, bruh.